Hello, everybody. My name is Danny K, and this is Danny K Crypto. And welcome back to the second installment of our mini-series, Blockchain Breakdown, where we basically pick a coin project or blockchain-related item and break it down for you, give you the facts and none of the fluff, and right to the point. And since this is being the second episode, I figured let's do the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap. That's right, Ethereum, or its native token, Ether. So essentially, what is Ethereum? Well, in other words, it's a global open source platform for decentralized applications, which basically means that it allows you to write code that can then control digital value, such as Ether, their native cryptocurrency, in what are called smart contracts, basically coded programming that allows you to transact and set a rule of values and parameters to execute, exchange of value, exchange of property, things like that. It's considered blockchain 2.0, the second generation of blockchains, where something like Bitcoin is the first generation blockchain, where it is just doing the transfer of value. Now you have a blockchain that can do transfer of value as well as a building and a development of coding and programming, all on a decentralized platform, all open sourced and all usable to you. Currently, Ethereum is running on a SHA-3 proof of work algorithm, much like Bitcoin. It is a mineable cryptocurrency that is secured by the hash power of the miners on the network, as well as conducting the transactions and letting the Ether flow through. Currently, there's 107 million Ether in circulation with no total supply cap, and it is currently at about 15 transactions per second. But that might all change with software upgrades and developments, increasing their transactions per second, as well as changing their algorithm from proof of work to proof of stake. More on that later. Some notable figureheads in the world of Ethereum is going to be the one and only Vitalik Buterin, a Russian-born programmer born in 1994. He's the founder and coder of Ethereum, which he began designing in 2013 and launched in 2015. Another very important person in Ethereum is Gavin Wood. He is one of the top programmers and former CTO of Ethereum and the Ethereum Foundation. He's made a lot of major developments on the Ethereum blockchain. And lastly, we have Charles Hoskinson. He's actually an early developer and coder on the Ethereum project, who later left after a couple of disagreements between the Ethereum Foundation and began to create his own project called Cardano. So what goal or problem does Ethereum hope to solve? Well, it basically wants to create a decentralized platform that allows individuals to create and code various applications in a decentralized blockchain-based world. Basically, applications ranging from games, social networking sites, finance, or better known as DeFi or decentralized finance, and more have already all been built on the Ethereum platform and have continued to show a lot of progress as the platform expands. So on the Ethereum platform, it has its native decentralized currency called Ether. Now, what the abilities it has to use this Ether on this platform and in combination with smart contracts can essentially create trustless, no third-party needed transactions. For example, let's say you want to buy or sell a house. Well, you can write up a smart contract that's set within a certain set of parameters that allow the title transfer of the house and the transfer of the funds for the house, simultaneously swap owners instantaneously without the need of a third party. So now let's take a little stroll down memory lane and talk about some notable historic events that happened in the world of Ethereum. In mid-2013, Vitalik Buterin proposed the idea of Ethereum basically because it came out of some disagreements with the Bitcoin Core developing group not wanting to implement a scripting language or programming language on top of Bitcoin's code. And because of this disagreement, Vitalik Buterin decided to then launch his own blockchain and currency to solve these problems. And with that being said, in January 2014, Ethereum was officially announced at a Bitcoin conference held in Miami, and at that conference basically formed its core group of founders and developers who then decided to run the Ethereum Foundation as a nonprofit. Ethereum then officially launched after a crowd sale on July 30th of 2015, and it had its first successful soft fork, aka a protocol coding upgrade, on July 31st, 2015. And it wasn't all smooth sailing. In June of 2016, a massive hack took place on a ICO called the DAO, or Decentralized Autonomous Organization, and it put rifts through the Ethereum ecosystem. Essentially, a hacker exploited a set of smart contracts tied to a record-breaking $150 million fundraising effort, one of the largest ICO and fundraising efforts in the cryptocurrency space at that time. And as a result, the hackers got away with about $50 million worth of DAO tokens. This caused a rift between the Ethereum ecosystem because half of the Ethereum Foundation and community wanted to hard fork off the chain to lock the hacker out of the $50 million, while the other half said that the blockchain must remain immutable and cannot be altered in any way to recover the funds, as this would disintegrate the integrity of the blockchain. And as a result, a contentious hard fork happened and split the chain into Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, with Ethereum altering the blockchain and rolling back those hacked transactions, and thus locking out the hacker of the initial funds. But in doing so, created the Ethereum Classic chain, and that remained the original blockchain without changing the hacked transactions. Then, in December of 2017, CryptoKitties, a game where you traded digital kittens, was born and became wildly popular. Unfortunately for the Ethereum blockchain, it was a stress test that Ethereum was not ready for, and at the height of CryptoKitties' popularity, ended up grinding the Ethereum blockchain and its transactional speeds to a crawl, with skyrocketing transactional and transfer fees. With the popularity of CryptoKitties slowly dying down, it put a lot less stress on the Ethereum blockchain and got things back to normal. But it was a big sign that scaling and transactional throughput needed to be put on the front burner and focused on in terms of development in the coming years. So, with the issue of transactional throughput on the minds of everyone in the Ethereum community, Vitalik Buterin, in late 2018, proposed a proof-of-stake solution called Casper, basically wanting to change its current proof-of-work algorithm into a proof-of-stake situation that will then help with scalability as well as inflation by setting a hard cap on the total supply of Ether issued. Casper was expected to launch in June of 2019. However, it has still seen a number of delays, and as of today, we still have no hard set date on when Casper will be fully launched and implemented. So yeah, that about does it on the quick blockchain breakdown of Ethereum and everything that is going on with it and what it is. Again, I want to thank you for listening or watching wherever you are. Please do me a favor and like and comment and share this video if you found it interesting or educational, or even if you don't, still helps the algorithm. And as always, if you would like me to summarize or do a blockchain breakdown on a coin of your choosing, write it down in the comments. Let me know, and I will put that on my list of coins to do. So, anyways, again, thanks for watching. My name is Danny K. This is Danny K Crypto, and I'll see you in the next one.